Welcome back to the channel, guys. The first step before we put any fertilizer down is going to be what we're going to go over in this video. So, I'm recording this from the garage because it's so stinking windy out there. It seems like every nice day that we get, it's windy. And like, really windy. So, we're just going to do this from the garage, and then I'll take you guys out there to show you what we're going to do. It's going to involve a soil probe and a soil test kit. Now, this is just the soil test kit that I buy. There's many of them out there. There's many similar kits to this. This is just what I've used for the past 3 or 4 years now. And so you want to stay consistent with what you're doing because they test the same way. So if I switch brands, they might test a different way and some of the results may vary a little bit. So you always want to be consistent on what you're doing. So we have a Yard Mastery test kit with just a little probe. Now we got some rain last night, so the ground's going to be a little bit wet, but I think it should have dried out enough by now that we'll be able to do this. But we want to do this before we fertilize because we don't want that fertilizer getting into the ground, trying to be absorbed, and then we do a soil test. It's going to mess up our results that we get. It's not going to be very accurate of what's actually in the lawn. So if you've already fertilized, wait 4 to 6 weeks, 2 months, somewhere around there, before you do a soil test. Now, you don't have to do a soil test. This is just if you want to make sure that you know what nutrients is actually in the ground and then what products you actually need. You don't want to be over applying, under applying products or wasting money on stuff that you actually really don't need. So, we have our soil probe. That's one thing we're going to need. In this, it's going to come with a way to register your kit. So you'll go online, register your kit, your results will be online. So, it comes with some instructions here on what you can do. So the nice thing about most of these kits is it's going to come with a package that's already prepaid. So all you do is just drop it off at your local post office. Pretty simple. So the actual stuff in here is a scoop, because this scoop right here is how much dirt you're going to need, or soil. You're going to put your soil in this and then send it off. So we're going to do about maybe 1 soil probe on each section of the lawn. So like the front yard, from the sidewalk to the house, from the sidewalk to the street, every section like that. And we're going to mix it up in a bucket and then just mix all that soil together so that way we have a general idea of the whole lawn. Now if you were really wanting to be picky, you could just do just your front lawn, just your side yard, just your backyard, whatever you want to do. My yard is just a little over 7,000 square feet. I just want a general idea. I mean, it's not a very big yard, so it's going to stay pretty consistent. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you guys some of the process of how we do this. Hopefully it's not too windy. Otherwise I might have to do some voiceover or something else. So let's get out in the lawn. It's just a little breezy today. The wind about blew my bucket over. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pick an area of this section right here. Take our probe. We're actually going to go to a section that's kind of bare and probe it. Now you want to go about 4 to 6 inches deep. That's about the good depth. So there's our soil right there. So if you had grass on top or debris, you'd want to try to clear that out. So it's the ground's a little tacky, but it should work. So there's one area. We're gonna do, one right there in the front yard, one on the side yard. We'll just work our way around. You guys get the point. 4 to 6 inches, put it in the bucket. Then once we get it all together, we'll mix it all up, and then I'll show you how we put it in there. So now that we have our dirt in our bucket, we're just going to look through our dirt and pull out like any pieces of grass or roots or anything like that, because we don't want to contaminate the soil test. We want it to make sure that what we're getting is just clean soil in here. So we're just going to look through it. We don't want grass blades or anything like that in there. So now that we got our soil cleaned, we're going to take the little scoop that it gives us here, and we're just going to scoop up our soil. So we got a nice scoop right there. So we're going to open this up. It says, do not remove contents, just add soil. So I'm going to break the seal on it. There's a little filtration device in there and some liquid. That's just going to preserve the soil. I'm going to put the cap back on it. I'll make sure it's fairly tight so that way it does not leak in the package. So, after that is done, I believe you're just going to stick it in here. And we're going to send it off. And then we'll register everything online. So that way when the test results come back, I don't think you have to send anything else in. I think we better read the instructions first just to make sure we don't have to send. On top, it's got a actually not on top. It's right there on the side. It's got a barcode, and that will match what's on yours. So that way they know when they put this in their system, they know what soil test it come from. So then you're just going to register it. So it says mail your sample within 1 day of adding soil to the jar. Ensure jar lid is firmly secure, which we did. Place jar in provided postage paid envelope, which we did, and then we took it out. Place the envelope in your mailbox, or the USPS shipments are accepted. Once your kit has been registered, you'll be emailed a notification of sample progress over the next 6 days. You can check the current status on Yard Mastery app. So, that's all we do. I just wanted to make sure before we did this, sealed it up, that we weren't screwing it up. Especially since I'm posting it on the internet. There we go. So, we will drop that off at the post office and wait for the results. So this is a fairly simple process. We want to make sure it's simple. Like I said, there's all kinds of other soil testing kits that you can do. You don't have to do this, but if you're like me, you're going to do it. So, stay tuned to check out the results. Hopefully we'll get these back in the next couple weeks. We're getting to the point where we've done our first mow where, you know, we kind of leveled everything out. So hopefully we have an actual first mow video coming out soon. Be time to get some fertilizers on, some insecticide, some weed control. So stay tuned, guys. We got lots of fun stuff coming up. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.